Hi, I wanted an internal winch on my SCX 10.2, and it took me a little bit of figuring out. The kit will give you the front mount, and all you have to do is look for the rear servo mount that's exactly like the front one, if you can see that. And you'll be able to put your servo in. You'll need a servo spool, which you can see right here on the bottom. I'm running a SCX Airtronic servo. So it's 23 tooth. When you do the modification for the servo, you've got to take the servo apart, remove the 4 screws, lift off the bottom, then go to the top and pop the top off and take all the gears off, and you'll see the large gear will have a pin on it. You've got to cut that pin off or pull it out, whichever way you can do it. And then you've got to take the oblong piece of plastic that comes up through the center into that pin and cut it off, or drill out the gear so that it'll spin freely and around. Otherwise it'll still stop on you. Then what you've got to do is at the bottom of the servo, you've got to take that circuit board out. Then take your black and your red wire and solder it directly to the motor. If you solder it directly to the motor, the speed control is going to control the speed of the motor inside your servo. To get that to work, I'm using a Hobby Wing 1060. They're about $20 if you look online, and it'll support 3-cell, a LiPo 3-cell. You can see right here my outlet wires that go to the motor are soldered directly to my jumper wire that goes to the servo. I did away with the third wire, the yellow one, and then on this one it's the blue one that I did away with. So you've only got the 2 wires running from the speed control. Your power wires, I just soldered a Dean's connector to it, and I got a 1-into-2 plug from Asia Tees, so I didn't have to do anything permanent. I just plug in my Dean's plug from the speed controller for the winch into one side, and I plugged the speed controller for the motor into the other side. And then I just plug it into the battery as normal. The control wire for the speed control right here is running to the speed control, and I have it set up on channel 3. But you can see I've taken the middle power wire out and cut it. I don't need the power to feed my receiver, since I'm already feeding it off of the power supply in the Mamba X. So I'm just using this for a signal input-output to the speed controller. With this setup, I'm running my PX7 radio, Futaba, it allows me to program 7 channels, which I plan on utilizing on this vehicle because I plan on putting lights on it, and I'd like to be able to control the lights with channels. What I'm going to do now is start it up for you. I've got my radio set up for channel 3, and I've got it set up to go up in 20% increments. So you'll see it'll go up 20%, 40%, 60, 80, and 100. The reason you're not hearing the winch move at this point is I've got the speed controller turned off. I'm at 0. Once I turn the speed controller on, you're going to hear it beep 3 times telling me that it's a 3-cell LiPo. Okay, there it beeped 3 times. I'm going to unhook it. And I'm going to winch it out at 20%. It goes fairly quick. %, is faster than most standard winches. I'll winch it back in. Can you come here, honey? I need you to hold this. I'll winch it back in, and you'll be able to see how quickly this will feed in. Okay, can you back up over that way a little bit and show my hand? This hand up here.
Got it.
I'm going to winch it in now at 20%. If I pull it out, I'm going to go to 40% and you'll see what I mean. That's at 100%. Okay, now I'm going to winch it in at 100%. You can see the speed of it is pretty good, and you can hear the servo wind up a little bit to give you some faster speed. If you have any questions on how I did it, please feel free to PM me. It took me a little bit to get all the information found on YouTube, but I think I'm going to really enjoy this setup. Thank you very much.